Hey, what's good, YouTube? So, this is my story about being convicted for something that I didn't do and what life's like when that happens to you. And maybe it'll bring some context to it because you hear about it on the TV, like on YouTube and stuff. You know, it always happens to somebody and they'll sort of like say about what happened to their friend or something or an acquaintance. It's never that person that actually happened to. Well, not that I saw anyway. Um, so this is me telling my story for what it's worth. Um, the one that people would have heard, the story, pardon me, is the BBC. Yeah, the BBC did a segment on me. Didn't watch that. I read the article. Yeah, and what they said was so disgusting, uh, gut wrenching. Yeah, for someone that doesn't know me, that's going off of what someone said and believed it to pass judgment on me. Yeah, it was tough to hear that, to read that. But yeah, so what actually happened? Well, I met this girl. It was a rebound thing after I split up with my partner. Things went really fast. She came around to the house. I tried to initiate sex. We'd done it before, sort of thing. It wasn't the first time. She said no, but that doesn't mean no later. So I was like, yeah, sure, fine. But I had a meltdown. Like, I'm autistic, severely autistic apparently. And yeah, so then she wanted to, and I didn't because of the meltdown. Like, I don't like being touched, so sex is not on the cards. She took it really personally, and yeah, started shouting. I had to leave the room. Tried to what do you call it? Sensory deception, sensory deprivation. So it's like no light, no sound, as little as possible. So I go into the duvet and put my hands in my ears. It sounds really, really dumb, but it works for me when I'm having my meltdowns and my head's just a tumble dryer and every sound is just a jackhammer in my head. So I end up getting out of bed because she's still shouting to sort of like get her out. I made the sofa bed up for her, like she was welcome to stay and everything, but she didn't want to. She just wanted to shout, and so I picked her up by the neck. Stupid decision, like all the places I could have picked her up from, but I didn't want to hurt her. Like there was no intention to hurt her. Like, and I'm a big guy. Like, I'm 6'2", like 85 kilograms, like about 6% body fat, like bodybuilder type thing. Yeah, so I could have done, but I didn't. And then, like, she left because she fell over. I fell on top of her, um, and yeah, she got back in contact, and I was a dumbass. Like, I shouldn't have. I say forgiven her, but like, I I was equally to blame because I didn't tell her about like the autism and stuff. Like, it was still getting diagnosed, but I had things in place to help me. I didn't tell her about because I was ashamed of it. So I told her everything was fine. We've been sort of like seeing each other, sort of like we were like friends with benefits. I was seeing other people. She wasn't, but yeah. So she comes round one night. She told the police that it was a welfare check because she was worried about me. She wanted to sit on my face. She didn't want to do a welfare check. So, yeah, that's what she said. And they believe that. So I end up sort of like trying to start something again. same thing happened, the exact same thing. And then when she asked for it later, I said no because of the meltdown. But she had a really bad sort of like episode, really shouting, and wouldn't leave me alone. And I had my hands over my ears, like in the fetal position, like seated, just like eyes closed, hands on my ears. And then like took my hands away and like started. She asked me if she could stay, and she was welcome to stay, but I can't communicate when I'm having a meltdown. I said no, but that's not what I meant. She was welcome to stay. She could sleep on the sofa. Yeah. So she ends up shouting. Even worse, I get a knife. Good comes off. Don't. But then I didn't put the knife down. I walked towards her with it, telling her to get out. She grabbed it. I let go of it. She let go. She didn't get hurt. I put my hand like on her chest and neck. And then she said she wanted the police. So I called the police. Because I was going to take responsibility for what I'd done. Like, I knew it wasn't right, what I'd done. That it was dangerous. But, you know, I have mental health problems and stuff. I'm not a violent person. Like, I just wanted people to know that, you know, this is my life. Like, this is the stuff that can happen. I need help. But she was never in danger. I was in danger. You know, I tried to slit my throat before when I go into lemon mode. But, yeah, I just wasn't getting any help. So I get charged with attempted murder, 2 counts of attempted strangulation, Section 20, Section 18 with deadly weapons. And I wouldn't have seen the light of day if I was found guilty. They offered me a plea deal. So my sort of case never even went to court. Like, it was kind of like the post office scandal thing. They're like, oh, yes, plead guilty, you won't see prison time sort of thing. The same kind of premise. Like, it was like, we'll take the attempted murder off and the Section 20, which was like 20 years off, and then you'll walk. I didn't want to because I value my reputation. Like, I was a good husband, good father, you know, good boyfriend, sort of like good friend, just general decent guy. I'd like to think so anyway. Never had any run-ins with the law. Never even had so much as a speeding ticket. I was squeaky clean. One person says something and they believe that. Doesn't matter up to that point. I mean, the judge did say there's a guy here who's been on remand for a certain amount of time with no bail, with no prior convictions. And I was like, oh, see, that guy knows that, you know, I didn't do it. Yeah, so never got that bail hearing though. So yeah, this is the reality of what happens when someone says something like that. I don't want people to know. I'm not gonna, you know, go hide away after this because I don't feel ashamed. Like, I told the truth. I'm telling the truth now. Like, yeah, it's tough for sure to sort of like, you know, say all that stuff about what happened because I'm not proud of it. But I know in my heart that I'm a good person and that I didn't ever hurt her. Didn't try and hurt her. Just circumstances conspired against me like they usually do, and that was the outcome. And you have to live with that. There's no point pulling some mental gymnastics. Which brings me on to like what I think of her. And people have asked me, my family, they don't particularly like her too much. And I say that I don't hold a grudge, that I forgive her. It was easier to forgive at the start. The longer it went on, it got harder and harder. Because they kept the attempted murder on for a long time. I didn't take the plea deal straight away. I was going to fight it. But everybody was begging me to take the plea deal. So I did. Dumbest thing I ever did. I was saying, I'm sat in the car. I'm not sat in prison. Could have gone horribly wrong because of the autism. I could have done terrible on the stand, and they could have convicted me, which is a scary thought, guys, because there's no evidence. I'm autistic. I struggle to communicate. Hopefully I'm doing a good job here, but I say things that I don't mean. I say things that are incorrect. Like, just I struggle to put the words out, what the thoughts are in my head, so that I wouldn't have done too good on the stand. And that's what I would have gone down for. My words. Yeah, so careful. And if you ever thought about stitching someone up for whatever reason, just know that you have to live with yourself like she does and look in the mirror every day. And I don't have a problem with that. So I don't know how she's coping, because it must eat somebody up inside. My problems are pretty bad. Like, you know, it's not some walk in the park right now. You know, not being able to get a job, find a place, being homeless, living out your car. That's pretty bad. But I'd actually choose that over doing something horrible to somebody like that. And why would she lie? I can understand like wounded pride at the time, maybe, because, you know, girls have said no to me, and it is painful. But, you know, what are the options? Like, you force yourself on someone, yeah, that ends badly. And I've seen how badly it ends with people in prison. You don't do that. You just take it on the chin, say fine, okay, but I'm autistic, so I kind of have a meltdown. But, you know, yeah. So if she does hear about this, I forgive her. I don't hold any grudges. It is what it is. I think there's a plan for everybody. Might not be the plan you want, but there is one, and it's how you respond to that. And I responded honestly and took responsibility, but the consequences are pretty dire, really, when someone lies and I believe them. Yeah, I'll end it there. Thank you for watching, and if you want to subscribe, I'm sure I'll be posting more videos, more like, you know, whimsical stuff, really, because this is pretty morose. Yeah, but stay posted and stay safe and careful who you trust. Don't live a life of social isolation, but just know there are people out there that will destroy your life over something so trivial as not wanting to have sex with them, which I believe is what happens. But that's just my side of the story. Feel free to believe what the BBC said. Alright, peace out, guys. Thanks for watching.